Hi, welcome to my channel, Takoyaki Tarot. Today is July 9th, Wednesday, 2025. So before I get started, I want to remind anyone that's watching that these messages are not going to resonate with everyone, and that's okay. If they resonate with you and gives you clarity, great. If it does not, then don't force it to be your story, love. I feel so much better. Wow. Alright, so I'm gonna start pulling cards. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna start off with this one. Oh wait, no, I already said that. Alright, so I'm gonna try and make this reading as quick as I can, but we'll see what happens. Rebirth. There's death in all that awakens, for it isn't blissful nor painless. It's a mighty rising, O flame resurrected. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. There's a lot of leaving things behind. People, places, things, habits, mindsets, blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of leaving that behind. Alright. For it isn't blissful nor painless. I mean, obviously, I feel like it's not going to be. It's never like a happy thing where you're not going to feel any pain. Okay? I feel like I keep seeing someone burning in this fire. For a lot of you, you had to walk away from individuals, all right? Let them burn in their own fire, essentially. I know that sounds really messed up to say, but if you walk it away, it means that that's how their fire is starting. Like, they're essentially setting themselves up on fire. That's what I'm getting, right? And if that's because if you're leaving, that's their result from you leaving, then so be it. That's how it's going to be. That's how it has to be. Right? You can't not walk away because you're afraid that if you turn your back, they're gonna set themselves on fire. All right, and I feel like I'm there's something so specific about somebody setting themselves up on fire, like in hot water, karma, right? Their world, whatever it is. But you can't not turn your back. Like you can't not do that. Preventing you from moving forward, you going further, you expanding, you growing, just because of the simple fact that you're afraid that these people, this person, their whole world is going to go up in flames. All right? And I feel like a lot of you are realizing, if me having to move on, if that's going to be the result for you, then so be it. I'm sorry, that's just how it's going to have to be. But the thing is, too, I feel like also you're not the one deliberately setting these worlds on fire. They are, to prove a point. It's essentially like, if you leave, I'm going to set my world on fire. Well, then that's your choice to do that. Because I have to leave either way. And if you're choosing to do that, then so be it. But it's really a lot of that. It's a mighty rising, O flame resurrected. I feel like there's something what I'm seeing in my mind's eye, I guess, where it's like if you've turned your back on something and it's like a little tiny flickering flame. I feel like that's like a that kind of resembles how much of an impact it was having on you negatively. Okay? But I feel like if you turn your back on something and the entire thing combusts and flames are going everywhere, I feel like that's representative of how much of a negative impact something has had on you. Right? And for a lot of you, it's people. You're realizing how much these people have negatively impacted you. All right? And you can feel the flames combusting and behind you, and you can't turn your back. You got to keep going forward. All right, moving on. Ooh, yeah, that feels better. Yeah. Mischief. Okay, you do need to be cautious though, because somebody they're trying to bother you. Let me move this. I feel like it's like too close. Mischief. Keep your eyelids open and sight sharp as nails, for there is something trailing behind your tail. Yeah, there is. You have somebody that's trying to bother you. They just don't want to leave you alone. It could be because they don't want to experience the flames on their end, right? They don't want to be in hell because you're going towards heaven, okay? So there's someone that's like, I keep seeing like someone in the flames like, ah! It's not funny, but it's just the way I see it in my mind. It's just so dramatic. All right. So, yeah, I feel like it could be that person that, or these people that they don't want you to be in heaven, essentially. Heaven on earth. They don't want you to have heaven on earth. All right? Because then that means it's hell for their world. You got to really think, people think that hell and heaven, you know what? I really don't feel like getting into all of that, so whatever. Rooted. May you never tell the living ritual that is magic merged within the roots of your being, the soil of your soul. And then we have the underworld in reverse. It says, hand over your known, a shift is near, take a leap, your journey is clear. That's what it says. Oh, hold on. That's what it says. Alright, so you're moving on. You're having heaven on earth. There's a bunch of people behind you, a person that's having hell on earth, right? I feel like it says, but you never take the living ritual that is much. I feel like you are going more towards who you are, following the magic in your veins that's helping you move forward. These people, not only do they not know nothing, but there's nothing that they can give up that'll essentially grant them permission to move on forward into your atmosphere, your orbit, your world, your heaven. Okay, they have nothing of value, nothing to give, and it's because they don't have. They're just, it's like low quality apples. I've never seen this one. That's new. Apples. To taste, one must swallow it whole, and beneath the satin flames hide drowning waters. So somebody's being heavily watched right now, spied on. Looks like monitoring attempts. All right, I do feel like that's you, but I also feel like it's also these people, this person. It's like the watcher's watching who's watching you. Does that make sense? The watcher is watching someone who's watching you. To taste, one must swallow it whole. And beneath the side of flames, hydronic waters. There's something about seeing something for the reality of the situation, or seeing the bigger picture, and having to accept the reality of it, the truth of it. One must swallow it whole. I feel like it has to do with someone's also having to eat their words. And they're being like watched as they're eating their own words. It's kind of like whatever they were saying, whatever they were doing about you, to you, because of you, right? Quote, quote, because of you. People are literally watching this person like having to eat their words. And they don't like that. They don't. It's making them angry. It's kind of like the judge says, okay, now you have to publicly apologize to blah, 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 blah. And the person publicly apologizes to you, but then they get angry and bitter and resentful because they feel humiliated. There's something like that here. Somebody could feel like you've humiliated them, right? Because of the simple fact that they're being watched. People are watching them having to eat their words, all right? Now, this could be the person that's in the flames. I also do feel like there is something here about, it could be, if this is one of the people in the flames, they could have been saying that, like you'll go back to them, or something's going to happen to you. It's something like that, right? But whatever they were saying, either that you will go back to them, or bad things are going to happen to you. Like they try to predict something, okay? It had to do with you. They were so confident about this too. They were so confident. Watch, give it a month and they'll come back. Or watch, give it blah, 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 blah. And then this is what's going to happen. And nothing happened. Nothing happened. All right. I feel like the reading just shifted. But essentially there is a person around you that has to eat their words. And they're literally being watched having to eat their words. And it has to do because you're not saving them from a flame that they started. That's what it is. That's who's in the flame. They started something. And they were okay with starting it because in their mind, the collective is going to come back and put out this fire that I started. They're going to come back. It's okay. They're going to come back. But you're walking. You're going. And now they're just like, wait, it's getting hot now. Okay. A couple months pass. Okay, it's getting really hot. I'm getting warm. I can feel the flames. And then maybe like a couple years go by. And now like their clothes are burnt off and they're yelling in the flames. Help me. Right? Everyone's like, well, didn't you say the collective was going to come back and put out your fire? You see? So you cannot. They did this themselves. You cannot put out their fire. Okay, seduction reverse on the bottom of the deck. So this person, either they cannot seduce you, they cannot use the power of seduction to get anybody else to put out this fire that they started. There's nothing really appealing about this person. We have seduction reverse. There's nothing appealing, attractive, alluring. It says, hear the roaring flames with the masterful trance that calls upon heaving chest. So this person, they lost their intuition. They lost connection to their roots, to their being, to their intuition, their sight. They lost their sight. Given to its alluring grip, if you please, but heed my warning of the claw that draws blood without mercy. Yeah. This person is like in karma right now. They also try to summon something or bring something about in your life, and now that very thing, very object, the very idea, that belief, that wish, that want is happening to them. See? Hear the roaring flames with the masterful trance that calls upon heaving chest. Give in to its alluring grip, if you please, but heed my warning of the claws that draw blood without mercy. And I don't think that this person was doing something on their own by themselves. But whatever. I don't really think that. That's really not important. Saturn. You got someone that's like really, really greedy, selfish. You know what's so funny too? That there is someone there. It could be the person that's in the flames, but they're also saying this about you. Because, oh man, I've seen so many people like this in my life. So many. Right? They'll deem you to be as the villain, as the devil, because you won't help them out of a mess that they created. It's essentially this. That's what this person is saying about you. You're evil and you're mean because you won't help me get out of this mess that I started to spite you, to get back at you, to get revenge at you. You see how dumb you sound? That's funny. The maturity that brings caution regarding limits imposed. I feel like this person, this energy, had no problem trying to like stop you from moving forward, but it just shows who's more mature than ever. The maturity that brings. So how you've been reacting and responding and going about your future and blah blah blah, that really shows. There's nothing more immature than a person who lights on fire underneath their feet. They do it themselves. They do it themselves. And then they're like, help, help. Someone pick up that bucket of water that's right next to me and put me out. Help, help. No. You do need to be cautious of this person, because this is a person that's trying to cause mischief in your energy. Just be cautious, right? But don't be like, oh my god, because like I just said, they're being watched. The watcher is watching. So the watcher is watching the person who's watching you. The watcher that's watching you. Okay? And then that watcher has like a higher... okay? But yeah, there really isn't anything to worry about, because all eyes on you. When you go downtown, 1 foot on the ground, it's all over the news. Yes, this person, they're like keeping tabs on you. Anywhere you go, anything you do, they're like, that song. So, but they think that they're slick by doing this, but they're being watched as they watch you. So there really isn't, like I said, don't worry about it. But that song is by Caravan Palace. It's from one of their most recent albums. It's not an album yet? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on there. 1 second, hold on. Mirrors. Okay, so this could also be a copycat kind of energy. Somebody who's been trying to copy you. I've been seeing a lot of like 585, 717, 213, 424. Just a lot of like mirrored. Okay? So this could be like a copycat that tries to like predict something for you and trying to get you to mirror their predictions, and now I was scratching my throat. And now it's like not happening. Like, you started this fire. You literally lit the fire underneath your feet. You did this. For what? Because of your being immature? And I feel like this is somebody who, because their threats that they use are very immature, right? The maturity that brings caution regarding. I feel like this is somebody who like they'll weaponize their life. They'll use it as a weapon, right? Well, I'll do this to myself if you leave. And it's just like, go ahead, that's not my life. But I feel like that energy is what kept a lot of you collective. Like, oh no, maybe, well, I feel bad, I feel guilty, or, you know, they're having this and they're going to have a hard time, and then there's just, this is going to happen to them. But a lot of you are realizing that was the very thing that you needed to, like, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Let it be. If it's meant to be, it'll be. And I feel like a lot of you are just like, you know what? If that's how it is, then that's how it is. And this is the same person, the same people that are, like, trying to cause mischief now because you won't put them out. That's not your job. No one told you to set yourself on fire using your life, your world, or whatever as you're trying to weaponize it, trying to, you see, that's literally what this is giving. These people will weaponize their lives if it means that it will stop you from moving forward. You need to be cautious though, because a lot of these people are trying to bother you and watch you and keep tabs on you. So it says, all eyes on you when you go downtown. I'm reading it as I'm singing it in my head. 1 foot on the ground, it's all over the news. But I'm confused when the stage is mine. I remain invisible to all. Yeah, this is a copy. They wanted to like switch. It's like they wanted to set the fire in their mind, thinking the collector is going to come back and put them out. When they get within arm's reach, put you in the fire because you've already made the pathway for yourself. In their mind, well, you sit in the fire, I'll just go down this path and I'll let you know how it goes. It was like a bait and switch, and you're like, I'm not falling for that. I'm not going to save you this time. All eyes on you when you think out loud. Be careful of the things that you say out loud, your prayers, your wishes, your hopes, your dreams. Be careful who you talk to, because there is someone they're like a fly on the wall. Hack into line, all people let loose, but I'm confused. I call it out. They shut me down. No matter what, I get screwed. And somebody doesn't want you to speak your voice, to speak your part, to say your piece. They don't want you to be of sound mind, because you know what you're talking about. Okay, so you speaking up and using your voice, people just basically want you to be like, no, we're gonna go down this path. We'll let you know how it goes. We'll let you know how it goes. These people, they want your advice too. I'm getting somebody that wants your advice, and when you give sound advice, it's like it makes them realize how like simple, but at the same time like how much they're gonna have to sacrifice and let go of, and they don't want to hear that. So they just, okay, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Like that kind of energy. And these are the same people again that they have to eat their words. I feel like they were trying to manifest, and they swore up and down, and they were so confident. They were saying these things that were just, they were saying great things, but in a negative way for you. Great things, like horrible, right? But they're big horrible things, right? It's like coming out of their mouth like a balloon, and now they have to eat that balloon up. People are watching them eat that balloon, right? They have to eat that balloon. What else does it say? You bother me, you're ahead of me, all due to nothing. You're blame free, stepping up for me, and beyond the magic, you're bugging me. You bother me, you're ahead of me. How can you be so placid when you disagree? You're fault free, stepping up for me. I'm the hero's sidekick. All eyes on you when you dress real tight, look sharp in the dark. Hell, you raise their roof, but I'm confused. If I wear no tights, drop the mask, will they call me stooge? You bother me, you're ahead of me, all due to nothing but jealousy. You're blame free, stepping up for me, and beyond the magic, you're bugging me. That's crazy. This person, they're heavy in that mischief energy. This is someone who's always been trying to bother you. If it's not physical, it's mental, it's spiritual, it's mental, it's emotional. They're always trying to find a way to bother you just to get ahead of you because they're jealous of you. But they want to do this in a way where no one knows it's them, no one sees that they're doing it. And on top of the fact that they're like trying to make it seem like they are your biggest advocate. But outside of that image, right, the illusion of magic that they're portraying, they're the ones that are bothering you. This song says it all. You bother me, you're ahead of me, all due to nothing but jealousy. You're blame free, stepping up for me, and beyond the magic, you're bugging me. This is someone who passed themselves off as like one of your biggest advocate, but they're the one that's been doing the magic behind your back, or like someone you always felt like you could that would always like have your back or like would stick up for you, but they're literally causing situations and mayhem in your life to make sure that these things happen, so that way it makes sure that you have them to rely on or call on or whatever. And it's crazy because the entire time all that magic is happening, at the end of the day, you were the one that felt pity for them, that felt sad for them, that felt like they were weaker than you. Like, that's why you decided that in your mind, collective, you thought you were the one that had to stay because you felt bad for them. Meanwhile, the entire illusion around everyone and everything is that they're the ones that stick up for you. They're your biggest advocate. They protect you and blah 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 blah. That was the illusion, and you went along with it because at the end of the day, you knew that's what they needed. They needed that illusion about themselves that they are a hero, when you know they're not. You know, like you knew. I'm gonna let you go ahead and think that you're my hero, you're my advocate, you're my savior, blah 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 blah. Because I know you need that. I know you need to believe that. I know you need to see that about yourself. All right, I'm gonna let you go ahead and think that I need you, that I'm helpless, because you need that more than I actually need you. And I feel like a lot of you collective, you realized that, well, if you're this hero that you claim to be, you don't need me, so I can go. But here they are, setting their worlds on fire. Ooh, my left ear just went quiet. All right, that's very good. Thank you, Caravan Palace. I'm the Most High God, obviously. So, all right. So yeah, I've always known that. All right. So I'm gonna jump into some tarot now. Oof. Yeah. It's Six of Cups reversed. This is somebody from your past, right? Whoever this person is, you've gained some sort of not just physical independence, financial independence, emotional independence, mental independence, but also psychological independence, right? So let's say this is kind of that energy where if this is like a family member, right, that you grew up with and you lived with them for, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years, whatever. But you can have your own money, you can have your own space, you can have your life, right? You have your own feelings, whatever. But in the back of your mind, you're still concerned and worried about your actions and the things that you want to do, the things that make you happy. Because what if so-and-so? What if so-and-so? What if so-and-so? What if so-and-so? But I feel like a lot of you have gained that psychological independence where now it's like, who cares? I don't care anymore. And I feel like that's also helped you realize a lot of things. Like, wait a minute. I feel like even yourself, oh my gosh, why can't I talk? I feel like there was even a point in your life where even you allowed yourself to be under the illusion that this person's your hero, your savior, they stuck up for you, blah, blah. Because it was just, I don't know. I feel like a lot of you just kind of went with it for a while, not realizing, like, that's not true. I feel like it was because it was easier. I don't know what that is. I don't want to go down that line, though, like that hole, because it's just gonna... But I do think that a lot of you have gained some sort of independence, and it's like psychological independence, to where now you're not worried about the choices that you make and the actions that you do. How will so-and-so feel about it? How will so-and-so think about it? What will there be their reaction? And now it's like, who cares? That's why I feel like a lot of these people, they were relying on that you wouldn't have psychological independence, because they were like, oh yeah, they're going to come back. They're going to come back. They always come back for me. They always come back for me. Right? And you're just like, well, if I don't go back, then this is going to happen. This is going to happen because I know they need me more than I need them, and blah, blah, blah. But a lot of you are just like, I just don't care anymore. Who cares? Who cares? A lot of these people are still like, help, 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 help. Right? That's why they're trying to cause mischief, trying to get you to put them out of their own fire. The biggest lie of all of this was that you needed more than they needed you. That was the biggest lie. When in reality, they need you. Who else are they calling and bothering and trailing and spying and watching? Who else? If you didn't need me, love me, or cared about me, was obsessed with me and somehow, then you wouldn't be doing all of that. And where does that go down to? Like the desire, the wants. Obviously, you mean more to them than they mean to you. And that's not being mean. It's just a fact. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so bothered and watching you and spying and, following and whatever, monitoring. Obviously, right? And I feel like it really bothers them. It bothers them so much that everyone's going to find out, or everyone can see that they care more about you than you care about them. They're always talking about you. They're always watching. They're always asking. They're always doing this. They're always doing that. Right? Why? Because they need you to put out this fire that they started. And obviously it shows, like, if you're in your fire and you're depending on someone else to put you out, who's actually limited? Who's the limited one? When the collective is, you can't even, you're like a tiny little dot. They can barely even see you. You're a tiny little dot to them. You can't even hear them anymore. That's why they're trying so hard to bother you. It says limits imposed. Who's really the one that's limited? Because it's not the collective. You're free as a bird, collective. You can do whatever you want and go wherever you want, believe whatever you want, see whatever you want, right? That's not your energy. That's not your energy. Yeah. I feel like it's really, if you really get deep in there, it's psychological independence, to where you're not worried about what your mom's gonna think if you decide to take this trip to, I don't know, like Alaska for 2 weeks and then go to Europe for 2 days and then come back. You're not worried about what your mom's gonna think. You're not worried about what your brother's gonna think. Your father, your mother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your friend. You're not worried. Because if you're worried and then there's a lot of like, that will interfere with the decisions that you make, the choices that you make, right? Because you're worried about, right? What if no, I can't do that because, well, they might think it's stupid, so maybe I shouldn't. I want to wear the green one, but I know so-and-so doesn't like green, so maybe if I wear the green one, no, I can't wear the green one because they're going to make fun of it, and I don't want to hear them. But even though I like the green one, you see, it's a whole thing of that, and you've broken free from that. Now you don't care. If you want to wear the green dress, you're going to wear the green dress. If you want to take a trip to Alaska, you'll take a trip to Alaska, and then Europe, and then if you want to start a company, you'll do that. Whatever it is, you'll do it. You're not worried about what so-and-so and who's in You're going to do what you want. Kelly, what are you going to do with your life? I'm going to get what I want. That's Kyle Sullivan from Shoes. 6 of, I want to say swords. So this is someone that's stuck in their energy. But we have the 6 of Wands that came out in the reverse. I wanted to say the 6 of Swords reverse, but this is the 6 of Wands reverse. Yeah. Someone, you know, between the two of us, I know you're actually the one that's more afraid. You're actually the one that's delayed. You have more doubts than anybody. You're the one that's truly limited. Right? These people, this person, they are the one that's truly limited. And that's by choice. That's the fire that they put out. That's the fire that they started. And they want you to put them out. They want you to free them from their choices that limit them. And you can't do that. Because they're going to keep doing the same decisions, the same things, the same choices. They're going to keep doing it over and over and over again. So you're going to stay stuck in the same position, helping them get out the same position, so that way they can put themselves back in the same position. Meanwhile, your path is over here glowing, like, come on, hello, let's go. Any day now, we're waiting. And you're like, okay, but wait 1 second, wait 1 second. And it's just like, either you come down or you don't. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to go. This, I do think whoever this person is, that's still attempting to bother you, they're failing at this, like, noticeably. Like, people are noticing them fail at this. It's not a secret. It's, like, public knowledge. Again, remember, you have to keep in mind that I said that this person is feeling humiliated because people are watching them having to eat their own words. All right? And they don't like that. It's, like, bitter in their mouth because it's like eating something bitter, and they have to eat it in front of everybody, and they're crying, and they're angry, and they're mad, and they're resentful, and now they want to bother you because they feel humiliated. You see? It's stupid. This person feels so humiliated to the point where it's making them want to bother you and watch you and spy on you and stalk you. Who told you to say what you said? Who told you to do what you do? What you did? Who told you to? Nobody. That's because they were so confident. They were so confident. Yeah, the collector's going to come back and put me out. Yeah, of course. Why? Because I'm their savior and they can't do anything. And I was right. But meanwhile, you're like, I willingly allowed you to go on with that illusion because I know at the end of the day, you need to believe that more than I believe that. You need me more than I need you. I have no problem walking away. I'm only here because I feel pity for you. I feel bad for you. You're mad weak and tiny and shallow, right? And making you feel good is by putting on this image, and you're not even really doing anything good. You're not actually carrying out good deeds or anything, right? I'm just here to, I'm just helping you make your ego feel good because you suck. That's it. You suck. And I'm just helping your ego because I feel bad about what's going to happen to you if you don't have anyone to ego, hello ego, how are you ego? And this is you just proved at this point for yourself, collective. You just proved it. This is what's happening. Because they don't have you, right, to ego, hello ego, how are you ego? They don't have that anymore from you. I'm hearing the little ego that could. King of Wands upright. The little ego that could. You know, like the little train that could. I think I can. Right? This person this person has a big ego, but even their ego doesn't trust their ego. It's like even they have doubts. With this big ass ego that they have, they still are like, that's stupid. I feel like in a way you allow them to let their ego grow. Because it's like, you know what? I know one day you're going to have to eat those words. But I'm gonna let you keep going to see how far you're willing to go. I'm gonna let you go, right? Because you're a tiny little thing. And I pity you. So to be gracious, I'm going to let you grow your ego to see how far you go. But my mercy to you is for me walking away. And then whatever happens, that's what happens. That's what happens. You're the King of Wands, okay? King of Wands upright, taking control. You can see things. You're very successful. Very motivated. You get things done. Right? You know how to take charge in your environment, in your life, in your future, and yourself. Very creative, ambitious. You got a lot of energy. You could be a very handsome man or a very beautiful woman. And you are not the one to mess with. And I feel like these are people, you're literally watching them burn. And you're like, okay. And they're like, help, you're collective, help. And you're like, anyways, you don't care about this. I feel like you're in this, you being in this King of Wands upright, the reason why they're trying to, like, bother you, like, you could already know where this energy is coming from, right? And again, you could already know the reason why they're trying to bother you from a distance and watching you and stalking you is because they don't have the galls. I'll say galls. They don't have the galls to face you face to face. And even though you're just like, I'm waiting. One thing a King of Wands or a Queen of Wands has no trouble doing, whether they're upright or reverse, is like dealing with the hands. Like, the hands are rated E, anyone can get it, right? And I feel like you're in this King of Wands energy or this Queen of Wands energy, and this person would rather bother you and play with energy and try and do this and try and do that. It's not going to work, but they would rather do that than talk to you face to face or confront you face to face or be in front of you alone, because they're afraid. They're more afraid. But it's like, how are you afraid of me when you were just saying that you were my savior, you were my hero, this was your stage, but you're afraid of me? I'm supposed to be your sidekick, remember? But you're afraid of me. So you know who this person is. You know who these people are, because for some of you it's more than one person. But that's why it's just like, I'm going to sit here on my throne comfortably until, go ahead, do all the magic you want to do, blah, 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 blah. It's not going to work. Play with the energy. It's not going to work. Because at the end of the day, I know you're not going to, either you come to me yourself, or you continue to waste your energy, your time, burn in this fire, do this magic, blah, blah, blah. All I have to do is just, I don't have to do, you're the King of Wands. You're the Queen of Wands. There's not much you have to do because you're already in the Nine of Pentacles upright. You don't have time to get up for every little magic and every little thing. Like, if you're gonna step to me, step to me. If you're gonna step in front of me, until you do that, or if you ever do that, then I have, none of this matters. This magic, these games, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're fine in your Nine of Pentacles, collective. The King of Wands with the Nine of Pentacles upright. You're independent. You're courageous. You're smart. You're healthy. Your finances are good. You have no problem taking control in your life. And I feel like with that psychological independence, that was part of you being in the Nine of Pentacles. You had to be like, well, what if I take this job and then so-and-so? Well, it might be too far from so-and-so. But then, I feel like for some of you too, you were worried about taking a specific job opportunity because of the travel or the distance it would have been from a particular someone or a group of family members. Worried that, well, they're not going to see you every day. Who cares? Why does it matter? They shouldn't have to be so obsessed with having to see you every day. You're an adult and they are an adult. They have a job. You're working on your job, but you can't work on your job because you're afraid that, you see what I'm saying? Why? And I feel like you guys were realizing that. Why does it matter? If me being so worried about their opinion means that I can't do what I want to do because of how it's gonna affect them when they're too busy trying to make it seem like you need them, why does it matter? It doesn't. It doesn't. Not anymore. And I feel like you guys realize that. It doesn't matter anymore. I'm gonna go take control of my life and go in the Nine of Pentacles because that's what's for me. That's always been what's for you. Plus the Ten of Pentacles on top of that. And the Wheel of Fortune and the Star and the Ten of Cups. That's always been for you. But I feel like a lot of you were like, oh boy, anyways. I get two more and then I close the reading. The King of Swords reverse. Ace of Pentacles upright. There is, so I'm getting two things. There's this energy of where there is a narcissist that only cares about money. Okay, that's one thing. But what I'm really getting here is that I was just, in the beginning, I was talking about how you're seen as evil and mean because you won't help them put out their fire that they started in spite of you. You're being seen as that. And a lot of you are being seen as you're being like stingy and selfish with the things that you have. Your money, 44. Your money, the things that you have. Whatever that's tangible. Your money, house, cars, clothes. Right? You're being seen as very stingy and as someone also thinks that you're lying about the things that you have. Alright, but so go back to the narcissist one who only cares about money. There's something that they're trying to do. Eight of Wands. They want to talk to you, to collaborate with you. Three of Pentacles upright. Somebody wants to talk to you. They want to communicate with you, to collaborate with you because they know that you are in the Ace of Pentacles. They want access to this, but they see you as a King of Swords reverse, as too mean, cold, cruel, cutthroat. You're not trying to listen to nobody. So they're seeing you, not only as they're seeing you as a King of Swords reverse, but they're also seeing you as this devil energy, as very mean, selfish. Right? You don't want to share. You don't want to give. Right? So, I don't know. I feel like they see you as mean and selfish. But at the same time, they want you to save them. But you're not saving them, so you're cruel and you're this. But they also need you around and they need to help you, right? Because you're the only one that can. But at the same time, they're supposed to be your savior. You see what I mean? It's just, either you come to me and tell me what you really want, or you leave me alone. Simple. Bye.